Today, we're going to be going over 5 traits of a D1 wide receiver. These are things that college coaches look for in wide receivers when recruiting them, and we're trying to teach you how you guys can add this to your own game in 2024. So, this first example is going to showcase that all D1 wide receivers, I feel you guys have a little bit of creativity to their routes. Nowadays, with the way offenses are going, everybody wants to run the 5-wide air raid type system where they're passing the ball 30, 40 times a game, and wide receivers are getting more opportunities to beat press man coverage. So, you got to have a little bit of creativity, especially when going up against talented DBs, because I'm telling you this right now, every DB at the Division I level is extremely talented. So this is a great example of adding a little bit of creativity, something a little bit different to a diamond release, which is actually a simple release, but just helping him get separation, especially in the red zone. So guys, what a diamond release is like if you have inside shade press like this and you have to run a 3-step slant, right? So a lot of guys, like I talk about this a lot, if you have to run like a 10 to 12 yard post route and you had inside shade press, what you would do is you would maybe give this guy like a quick move inside, try to get him to hold inside, take what he gives you to the outside and stack him and then give him a move, or if he's right on your hip, you could throw him by because you have 10 to 12 yards to be able to actually stack over the top. Now, on a 3-step slant, you don't. So what you want to do is you want to try to split the DB in half. You want to attack his outside shoulder and outside hip. The goal is to get him to flip open and think you're going vertical and then put the brakes on and slip back underneath him because you only have 3 steps to do that. So that's that diamond release. Those 3 steps, that's his first step, second step, third step. And on those 3 steps, you got to make sure you're running hard. You're running with, like not necessarily overly long strides, but like the same strides. You don't want to take choppy steps, and your hips and your shoulders got to be committed to, hey, I'm running this vertical route. Now, a lot of disciplined DBs, though, you guys, will not fall for that because, again, that doesn't look like how you would actually run a fade route versus inside shade press. So this is the creativity that I'm talking about. So you see how this wide receiver doesn't just take off and do 3 steps, which he very easily could do. What does he do first? He gives this little hesitation move to the inside, changes the tempo a little bit, and then accelerates to the outside because that's how you would run a fade ball versus inside shade press. Selling fade is a lot more than just running hard, running with long strides and committing your hips and your shoulders. It's also about releases. It's also about setting up your releases and making them look similar. So this is a great example of a hesitation hop into a diamond release to make himself fade more, to make that DB think it's a vertical and open up his hips because he's seen this before. He doesn't want to get beat on that fade again, or maybe he's seen you run this fade on somebody else. Now, second thing I feel all D1 wide receivers have is explosive change of direction. Now, before I break down this clip of a perfect comeback route and what a D1 level college coach is going to want to see at the top of the break, if you're a wide receiver and you guys would like a daily workout schedule that you can follow to improve these aspects of your game, check out that very first link in the description below for our elite wide receiver training package. What you'll get access to is 8 weeks of daily gym and field workouts specifically tailored to wide receivers. You're focused on route running, speed and agility, explosiveness, press releases, catching, everything, guys. We break it down. Monday you're doing this, Tuesday you're doing that, etc. And we give you the exact sets and reps to follow, plus an example of each drill and exercise. So guys, check out that very first link in the description below if you would like our elite wide receiver training package. Let's get back to this video. So now, this is going to be a comeback route. Now, at the top of the break, what I think a lot of college coaches expect wide receivers to be able to do is to get in and out of their routes in the least amount of time possible. Now, to decrease time at the top of the route, you got to try your best to be able to decrease steps. Are steps the most important thing in the world? No, but foot placement can help you decrease time. Eliminating wasted time at the break is much better than eliminating wasted steps. But like I said, they kind of go hand in hand at times. Reason why I say that is so let's start with this. This wide receiver was running a comeback route. He's breaking on his inside foot, takes a second step, which is his pivot step, and then his third step hooks around, and he's out of that break in 3 steps. Now, a lot of coaches out there say that, oh, you must get out of your break in 3 steps, right? Now, here's the problem with that, you guys. A lot of wide receivers are not confident in their hip drop. They're not confident running full speed, or maybe not full speed, but they're not confident selling vertical and then breaking on a dime and getting out in 3 steps. Only very, very high-level wide receivers are able to sell vertical, like this wide receiver, are able to sell vertical and at the last second drop and get out in 3 steps. So what a lot of receivers do is they will run up into their routes, they'll be going full speed, and then right before they snap down, they start to slow down because they're so concerned with that step count that their wide receiver trainer is making them focus on. Guys, it's not about steps, it's about time. Can I get into the break fast, decelerate, and get out fast? If I could take 5 steps while selling vertical to the last second and get out in 5 steps, but just as quick or taking my 5 steps faster than somebody could take 3 because they slowed way down before the break, I'm out of the break faster. It's about speed and eliminating wasted time, you guys. Now, one of the best things that I think you could do to eliminate wasted time is working on a pivot step. So the goal is to be able to flip your hips out of the break as fast as possible, right? So when you go into a break and let's say you're dropping on your inside foot, the second step needs to almost turn at a 45-degree angle. Let's say you're running a curl route and you break with your outside foot, that would be your inside foot turning at a 45-degree angle. So he snaps on the inside foot, watch his second step. You see how it pivots? Because that pivot is what starts to turn his hips, and that pivot of the second step will naturally hook your third step around. And then if you end up taking 2 more steps right there, that's fine. Again, guys, it's not about the number of steps, it's about eliminating time at the top of the break. So remember, guys, anytime that we drop my hips, the second step should pivot, third hook, and then we're trying to push and drive out of there. He's able to get out in 3. Do you have to get out in 3? That's what you should shoot for. But at the end of the day, it's about flipping your hips and taking wasting as little time as possible. The thing that a lot of guys do is that when they get to that break point, their hips take forever to turn. They're taking 5, 6, 7 steps just to turn their hips. Snap, pivot, hook. And if you take some extra steps, that's fine, but it's about eliminating wasted time. There's a textbook example of how you should get in and out of your breaks, especially at a collegiate level. Now, this next example here is from a wide receiver from the University of Arizona. They call him T-Mac. I can't even pronounce it. I think it's like Tatario Macmillan or whatever. He went to like Servite High School in Southern California. Beast of a receiver. I think he was either a 4-star or 5-star recruit. He's the University of Arizona. Like I said, he went there with his quarterback who also went to the same high school. And this is a clip of him in practice. And I'm telling you right now, you guys, these are the types of plays that they're going to want to see on film at the next level. Now, does it have to be this exact type of play? No, but this is a freak play. And this is why this dude had an offer from literally like everywhere in the country. You see this catch. Let's watch this again. He had literally, guys, like, and again, like the high school that he went to is probably 30 minutes from where I live. He had an offer from literally every school in the country because of plays like this. And I'm telling you this right now, guys, on your film. Let's talk about the recruiting process, right? The recruiting process, college coaches want to see varsity film. They don't even care about this type of film, like practice film where you're in full pads. They don't care about 7-on-7. They don't care about freshman film. They care about varsity film under the lights. And they want to see what you can do. And if you can include plays similar to this, where you're doing a jump ball catch, catching in traffic, catching while you're getting hit, diving catches, things that actually make you stand out as a pass catcher, you're going to be valuable in a college coach's eyes. This is what all these D1 Power 5 guys, you look at all their film, you guys. If you don't believe me, just go to Rivals.com or ESPN.com and look at the top 10 wide receivers in the country, all the dudes that are Power 5. They have plays like this. Maybe not exactly like this, but plays similar to this on their film. Colleges want to see highlights. They don't want to see you catch a wide open post. But again, that doesn't mean try to force a one-handed grab either. But at the end of the day, they need to see explosive plays. And your mindset should need to be making explosive plays because that's what will stand out to a college coach. Now, next thing I want to discuss that I feel all D1 level wide receivers are able to do is not predetermine a release and be able to react off of how a DB plays. And this is a great example of this. So this is from a wide receiver out of South Florida called Nashawn Montgomery. Very talented dude. He's either, again, a 4-star or a 5-star recruit, and he's going to be coming off the line doing this like hesitation skip, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson style type release. Now, why does he do this? Why do I feel like this is something that, like, a D1 wide receiver does? Is because this release allows him to react. So we have a DB who's lined up inside shade press, right? His goal is to prevent the inside route. Now, what we could do off the line of scrimmage, and this is a totally fine move if you want to do this, you could do like some type of crossover, some type of inside jab, right? So you step with your outside foot, then you push off of that, and you fake with your inside foot, make him think we're running like an inside release to get him to move, and then I take my outside release. Cool, fine, whatever. Now, a lot of great wide receivers, though, add a little something extra, almost like this hesitation skip, so they're able to react off of the DB and kind of set traps for the DB. So this release starts with the back foot. He kicks behind his front foot, and then he takes this little skip step with the left foot. He steps with the left. So he kicks with the right, kick right, hop left, and that right there is the step that forces the DB to make a decision. He does this move on like a 45-degree angle because that attacking on that 45-degree angle, kind of like that diamond release, it makes the DB make a decision. Do I sit inside and play my leverage? Then he just takes off. Or does he jump to the outside and try to cut off our 45-degree angle? Then what could we do? We could put the brakes on with my right foot, take the inside release, and then go get up into my route. So this release is great for that, you guys. So guys, the reason why I showcase this release, this release that you have to do? No. What you could do is you could do like a slide to the outside, but they attack on that 45-degree angle to force him into making a decision. If you guys can set up releases where you're making a DB decide and you're able to react and you can react fast, that makes it very, very tough for this guy to cover you and predict what we are doing. And if we could run unpredictable routes, again, that's very, very tough to cover for that DB, and he really has no chance.